especially for this song.
I'll read it. He who brought the treasure of divine love, who was filled with compassion and mercy, where has such a personality as Vaidya Acharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatana? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Gopal Bhatta? Where is Krishna Das Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter to the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these devotees, in whose association he performed his pastimes, Narottam Das simply weeps.
Vishnu Badaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shimade Pati Vikasa Swami Tinamani. Nama Om Vishnu Badaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shimade Pati Vedanta Swami Tinamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachayane Nirvishesha Shunivadi Pashacha Deshitayane Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadadhar Shivasri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, today is the disappearance day of 3 great acharyas in our Sampradaya, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, and Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. In this song we sang in the Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Prabhupada gives a purport to it. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but in the very last stanza, Prabhupada says, I'm going to just start therefore. Therefore he prays, I always desire the company of Ramachandra. He desires the devotee's company. The whole process is that we should always pray for the mercy of their superior acharyas and keep company with pure devotees. Then it will be easier for us to advance the Krishna consciousness and receive the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Krishna. This is the sum and substance of this song sung by Narottam Das Thakur. So Prabhupada says that it is easy for us to advance in Krishna consciousness when we always pray for the mercy of superior acharyas. So on the disappearance day of these acharyas, it's very important to beg for their mercy and have this mood of Vipralamba. In the Leela Amrita, it's described in Prabhupada when he performed the pastime of leaving this world. His disciples, towards the end, they speak on how they had this feeling of Vipralamba for Srila Prabhupada, and how actually they felt Srila Prabhupada's presence more when Prabhupada left this manifestation of physical presence. So on the disappearance day of the great acharyas, it's very important to meditate on what contributions they gave us, what is so significant about these great devotees. If you look at these pictures, you see it's always somebody in associations, like you see Lord Chaitanya's associates, Lord Chaitanya Nityananda, Krishna Balaram dancing. In every picture you see Krishna is never by himself, the devotees are never by themselves, they're always with the associates, and they're always, through association, we're able to relish spiritual bliss. This is where the Mayavadis fall short because they don't understand the power of association. And so, especially in the Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, we take these disappearance days and appearance days of great acharyas very seriously because it is by their mercy we're even here. It's by the mercy of the Guru Parampara that we're here. His Holiness Bhakti Vikasa Swami Maharaj says that the Guru Parampara is like spiritual technology, right? Everybody's trying to advance the technology, but the Guru Parampara is spiritual technology. And by hanging on to the dust of your lotus feet, your spiritual master, you can attain the mercy of these great souls. So we should never take for granted the association of devotees, as Prabhupada said, and I read. That's the easiest way to advance in Krishna consciousness. And Narottam Das Thakur, he imbibes this mood of separation from these devotees, these pure devotees. This is not artificial. When you develop love for Krishna, you also develop love for his devotees. They go side by side. You can't love Krishna without loving his devotees. So I'm going to speak a little bit about each of these great personalities. Granted, each of these personalities can have a class all by themselves, but we're going to end at 8:30, so I'm going to try to just get as much as I can. So I'm going to start with Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. I'm going to read from this book. And, okay. So Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So in around 1503 AD, Raghunath Bhatta Acharya appeared in this world as the son of Tapan Mishra, a dear devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who hailed from the village of Rampur on the banks of the Padma River in East Bengal. So Tapan Mishra is the father of Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. And Tapan Mishra was a great devotee of Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya actually appeared in his dream and instructed him to take, he appeared in his dream and told him the purpose of life, which is to perform Sankirtan and the means of attaining it. And you see this actually a lot, that the Lord will appear in these great devotees in their dreams. You see this a lot. It's a very constant theme that when devotees are exalted, the Lord will appear and he'll speak to you. You can see him face to face. The whole process of Krishna consciousness is to see the Lord face to face, and he'll come to you in your dream. So, Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, as I said, he's a son of Tapan Mishra. He lived at home for about 28 years. And during the 2 months the Lord actually spent in Benares, Raghunath had many opportunities to actually serve him. So I want to go to, it's a lot that can be said. But specifically, Lord Chaitanya gave him the benediction to always recite Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm going to go over that. So when his parents, Raghunath Das Goswami's parents, died, he returned to Jagannath Puri and stayed with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After remaining with the Lord for 8 months, Mahaprabhu told him to go to Vrindavan and stay with Rupa and Sanatan. He told him continue studying and giving discourses on the Bhagavata, as well as chant the holy names. The Lord then gave him a 10-foot-long tulsi garland that had been worn by Lord Jagannath, as well as some pond that had none of the intoxicating spices in it. So this is what Lord Chaitanya told him: recite the Srimad Bhagavatam and chant the names of Krishna continuously. The Supreme Lord Krishna will very soon bestow his mercy upon you. After saying this, the Lord embraced Raghunath, who became enlivened with ecstatic love for Krishna by his mercy. So it's really interesting. He told him to recite Srimad Bhagavatam and chant the names continuously. But you see that, a lot of other Lord Chaitanya's associates, he gave different directions. Krishna consciousness is not a one-size-fits-all. Depending on the psychophysical nature of a certain person, or depending on a certain person's upbringing, or however they came to Krishna consciousness, Lord Chaitanya specifically told him, cite Srimad Bhagavatam continuously, right? But then you see like Srila Prabhupada, he told his disciples, go preach, depending on the time and circumstances. It's not that Srila Prabhupada's instruction is different from Lord Chaitanya's instruction, right? It just depends on the time and place and circumstances and the person, the individual person. And Raghunath, one very unique quality about Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was he would never speak or listen to gossip. He would simply discuss about Krishna and worship him day and night. He wouldn't listen to criticism of a Vaishnava's behavior. He knew only that everyone was engaged in Krishna service. So he was the topmost Paramahamsa. You know, he was in the topmost level. He couldn't even tolerate the offenses, but spoken about another devotee in the presence. It says three things. If you hear somebody blaspheming a devotee, you should either leave the place, cut out their tongue, or kill yourself. And right. But Prabhupada, when he says that, cut out their tongue, he clarifies that you shouldn't literally get a knife and cut their tongue out. You should defeat them by argument and debate. You should be expert enough at least to defend the Vaishnava philosophy. And this is actually mentioned in Speaking Strongly, Srila Prabhupada, how, you know, there are certain times and places where you should engage in arguments and debates with people. It's not that we should just go around looking for people to argue, because in one sense, we can actually make somebody envious by just arguing with them. So you have to use some intelligence. Prabhupada was very keen, actually, when it came to highly intellectual people and scientists. He would actually have these discourses, right? Because he understood that because they're leading society, it is Prabhupada's duty to correct their misunderstood understanding of the purpose of life. So, but you see Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, he didn't listen to gossip. He would only continuously study Srimad Bhagavatam. And you see how exalted this personality is. He's not just an ordinary person. So, let's see. It says that he was such an expert teacher of all the scriptures that even Brihaspati would cheer joyfully upon hearing Raghunath's explanation of Vaishnava doctrine. Brihaspati, the guru of the demigods, was also just awed and reverenced by his scholarly understanding of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And people think that Vaishnavas are just sentimentalists. They're just chanting on the streets and, you know, wearing weird clothing with some weird paint on their face. But actually, they're the greatest scholars, the greatest philosophers. You know, have one conversation with a devotee, you realize his knowledge supersedes anything that any person has come across. Especially when I was first coming to Christian consciousness, I remember that because I was studying in law school, but then I would come and I would present my misconceptions to the devotees. I would get smashed every time. I'm like, how are these monks like always continuously smashing me? I'm like, I'm done arguing with them. I told my Hoda that, like, Prabhu, I'm not arguing with you anymore. It's like, obviously, you guys are way more intelligent than me. So you see, these devotees are not just sentimentalists. They might seem like so because they're chanting. They might, you know, show some spiritual emotions, but this is all on the platform of pure ecstatic love for Krishna. So, as I said, there's not so much time. I'm going to go to Srila Raghunath Das Goswami next. So, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, and as I said before, everybody's journey to Krishna consciousness is different. You see that, you know, you have two Goswamis, Srila Bhatta Goswami and Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. But you see their journey to Krishna consciousness is completely different, and I'll explain that. So, Raghunath Das was born around 1494 in the town of Saptagram in Hooghly district, but his actual birthplace was in the village of Krishnapur. So, let's go right here. Okay, so Raghunath desired to join the Lord. So when the Lord departed for Puri, Raghunath returned to his home in Saptagram, but he had been transformed, was constantly feeling intense separation from the Lord. So when the Lord visited his village, he could not forget the Lord. He always kept the Lord in his heart. And seeing him in this condition, his father, the father of Raghunath, surrounded him by a guard of 11 men, including 2 Brahmins, 4 servants, and 5 guards. So he comes from a family, a wealthy family. It says that his father, Hiranya and Govardhan Majumdar, had an annual income of 800,000 rupees. Now, I don't know what that translates to in this day and age, but like that just sounds like a lot. Like, I don't know. 800,000 rupees, that's the annual income. So long story short, his family was filthy rich. But he was not attached to the wealth of his family. Once he saw Lord Chaitanya, his desire to be in the Sankirtan movement um, superseded his desire to remain in material life. So yeah, when Raghunath saw the Lord, it was as though he was given a new life. He told the Lord of his intolerable situation, prayed to him to tell him how he can break free from this material bondage. The all-knowing Lord could understand the depth of Raghunath's feeling, and yet he tried to pacify him with the following instruction. So I'm actually going to go to this. This is in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. The instruction, because at this point, okay, what? I think this is 2:16, 2:37. Okay, I had it. Okay, so he wants to join the Lord in his Sankirtan mission, but he's at home. His father's trying to get him married and trying to get him engaged in these material affairs. But Raghunath Das Goswami is like, I just want to leave. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be. I just want to leave right now. And this is what Lord Chaitanya tells him. Be patient. Return home. Don't be a crazy fellow. By and by, you will be able to cross the ocean of material existence. You should not make yourself a show bottle devotee and become a false renunciate. For the time being, enjoy the material world in a befitting way and do not become attached to it. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, within your heart, you should keep yourself very faithful, but externally, you may behave like an ordinary man. Thus, Krishna will soon be very pleased to deliver you from the clutches of Maya. You may see me at Nilachal Jagannath Puri when I return after visiting Vrindavan. By that time, you can think of some trick to escape. What kind of means you will have to use at that time will be revealed by Krishna. If one has Krishna's mercy, no one can check him. In this way, Lord Chaitanya bade farewell to Raghunath Das, who returned home and did exactly what the Lord told him. Let me read this. Okay, so this is the purport of, this is a very ecstatic verse, actually. What kind of means you will have to use it? If one has Krishna's mercy, no one can check him. Although Srila Raghunath Das was very anxious to join Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord advised him to wait for the mercy of the Lord. He recommended that Raghunath Das keep his Krishna consciousness firmly fixed in his heart while externally behaving like an ordinary man. This is a trick for everyone advancing Krishna consciousness. One can live in society like an ordinary human being, but at the same time, one's own business should be to satisfy Krishna and spread his glories. A Krishna conscious person should not be absorbed in material things, for his only business is the devotional service of the Lord. If one is engaged in this way, Krishna will certainly bestow his mercy. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised Raghunath Das, Yata Yogya Vishai Bhujya Anashakta Hoy. The same is repeated, Antare Nishtakar Bayak Loka Vyavahar. This means that one must have no desire within his heart other than to serve Krishna. On the basis of such a conviction, one can cultivate Krishna consciousness. So, this is very important. A devotee may act as an ordinary human being or as a strict follower of Vedic instructions. In either case, everything he does is favorable for the advancement of devotional service because he is in Krishna consciousness. So Lord Chaitanya is telling him, if you have Krishna's mercy, then whatever situation you're in, Krishna will deliver you, and he'll take you to the other side of material existence. What's his verse? I memorized it. Even if you consider the most sinful of all sinners, you will cross the ocean of material existence. It's in the 4th chapter. You know that verse? I'm blanking. Anyway, there's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita that even when one considers the most sinful of all sinners, if he sits you on the boat of transcendental knowledge, he can cross the ocean of miseries. So Lord Chaitanya is instructing him, when you have the mercy of Krishna, then you can attain Krishna in whatever situation you are. Nonetheless, he's telling him, be patient, and the time will come by the time you have it, Ali? Apished asi papepa sarve papakritama. Was it sarvam gyana plavenava? What's the last line? Santarishi, Virginam Santarishi. Yeah. And what's the translation?
Even if you're considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of misery.
Right. And this is what where is it? This is kind of what same thing. Like Lord Chaitanya is saying, by you be able to cross the ocean of material existence. He's saying by keeping Lord Chaitanya in his heart, he can cross the ocean of material existence. So the desire to serve the Lord has to be stronger than your desire to be in material existence. This is a way to attain the mercy of Krishna by the simple desire. Your desires are very powerful. The desire is actually what's carrying the living entity, the jiva, from body to body. The desire to remain in material existence. So when that same desire is tailored to the service of the previous acharyas, and when it's tailored to the service of Lord Chaitanya, you will be able to cross the ocean of material existence, and you will attain the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. This is his instruction to Raghunath Das Goswami, which is, like I said, contrast that with Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. He told Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, go to Vrindavan and just study Srimad Bhagavatam. You don't waste time, don't waste time, do that, because his situation was a little different. So like I said, even when I first joined Christian Consciousness, I was in school, and I was like, man, I just want to just like be brahmachari, I just want to stop. But then the devotees advised me, no, it's not the time right now. It's finish school, do what you got to do, and then you can join, you can be brahmachari. So you see that, and I remember when those months when I was by myself, and I was seeing, devotees during the marathon putting up phenomenal book scores, but I was still like doing like exams. I was like, and they looked so blissed out. Everybody was blissed out doing Srimad Bhagavatams on the street. I was like, man, I can't wait to just be with the devotees, because you like, once you come across a devotee, you really can't see the material world the same. Actually, like once you have Krishna Prasadam, you can't have ordinary food anymore. I don't know who I was telling, but I used to love the smell of marijuana. But now I can't stand it. Like it's so disgusting. Like how can I even like it smells so nasty. Because some higher tastes is there in Krishna consciousness. The smell of incense far supersedes the smell of marijuana. So Srila Raghunath Goswami, when he got the association of Lord Chaitanya, he got this higher taste. So I want to talk about his escape. Okay, so though Raghunath knew that the devotees from Bengal were preparing their annual trip to Puri, he was afraid to join them because he knew he would be easily caught. So he tried to escape many times, but the guards and his family always stopped him. So one day, about an hour before dawn, Yadunanda Acharya came by the house where Raghunath was sleeping on the Durga Mandap. He told Raghunath that a disciple who performed the puja had abandoned his service and needed to be persuaded to take it up again, as there was no replacement. Raghunath accompanied his guru while all the guards were still sleeping. After walking a ways with Yadunandan Acharya, however, Raghunath told him to return to his home, saying he would go alone to the disciple's house and convince him to come perform his duties. So pretty much he tricked him. Long story short, they needed his help for something. He tricked him. He said, I'll do it by myself, don't worry. So Raghunath realized that he had the golden opportunity because he was by himself. He said, I'll make my escape. So meditating Mahaprabhu's lotus feet, he started to walk toward the east. He avoided the main roads for fear of being caught, and even the smaller ones that ran through the villages. Despite the difficult route through the jungle, he walked 30 miles on the very first day. That's crazy. 30 miles the very first day, finally taking rest in a milkman's couch that evening. Like, you just see, like, devotees are just, like, sometimes they can just, like, they can do supernatural things, like walking 30 miles. I ran 1 mile in high school and I was about to die. Like, he walked 30 miles. Imagine that. Around this time, it's not like he had comfortable shoes. He's not having like the new Reeboks or something. He's having like what these patakas with the I don't know if anybody's ever wore those, but they're super uncomfortable. That was like the common shoe in the day. So he's walking either barefoot in those, but because he's absorbed in Lord Chaitanya's feeling of renunciation, he was able to tolerate it. This is also seen in why am I blanking, man? Who's Ishvara Puri? Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri also did this. He also walked, yes, from Vrindavan. He walked all the way from Vrindavan to You're right, exactly. So you see, it seems like devotees is like to walk. Devotees is like they'll trek miles and miles for the mercy of the Lord. You see, and even his story, Narottam Das Thakur's story and Raghunath Das' story is very similar actually, because they both had wealthy parents who were trying to get them married and keeping them engaged in material existence, but they won't had the strong desire to escape. So this isn't like the first, instance of a devotee trying to escape. Okay, I only have 6 more minutes. I wanted to speak a little more about his renunciation, but the point is he became a great renunciate, and he was able to join the associates of Lord Chaitanya eventually. And because of that, we never speak to it, but actually yes. Yeah, so actually, even the Srimad Bhagavatam, how it's compiled is that actually, I'm sorry, the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So you have this personal secretary, Lord Chaitanya Swarup Damodar. He took notes, and then from his notes, he told that to actually Raghunath Das Goswami, and then Raghunath Das Goswami told that to Krishna Das Kaviraj. So he's actually very instrumental in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So okay, I'm gonna go to. Okay, I'm gonna take this off. I don't remember what page this is on. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, 195. Speak a little bit about him. Okay, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita, but he has only given us a little information there about himself. In his introduction to the original Gaudiya Mata edition of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur wrote the following about Krishna Das incidents. We do not know who Krishna Das' parents were, not even their names. Despite recent claims that their names have been discovered, no concrete evidence can be found to substantiate them. Krishna Das is a spiritual name and not one that he used in his family name. So pretty much his background seems like it's pretty muddy. People don't actually know his family's lineage or anything like that. There's so much that could be said. But I kind of do want to open up for questions. I'll just say this. So Krishnadas Kaviraj, at the end of every time he speaks in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, he says, begging for the mercy of Sri Rupa Sanatan and then Sri Raghunath. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami always felt himself as a servant of these great acharyas. He never felt that he was writing these literatures on his own. He always felt that he was receiving the mercy of the previous acharyas. That's how he was able to compile the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And because of their mercy, he always prayed to them. So I want to leave some time for you might want to have any comments or questions. Or I could just finish reading this. Depends on if you always have anything to say before class ends. Yes.
It's always amazing in the Chaitanya Charitamrita when you hear Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami speaking about himself, which he rarely does, but when he does, when he does, it's really amazing because he's saying, he's exhibiting the pastimes of old age, very old age, and he's saying, I'm going blind, I can barely see. When I'm walking, I'm slipping and falling. I can barely hold my hand steady to write, but somehow Lord Chaitanya is writing this whole book through me, keeping me alive just to finish this. It's so incredible.
It is. Yeah, it is really mystical. He actually in the Adi Leela, I think. No. In the first half of the first 6-7 chapters of the Madhya Leela, Krishna Das Kaviraj actually, before he continues to speak on the Madhya Leela, he actually goes to the Antya Leela. And he talks about pastimes of Antya Leela. He kind of skips forward. And Srila Prabhupada says that because he felt that he was not going to be able to finish his Chaitanya Charitamrita. So he felt that, let me try to just get as much as I can right now, because he felt that he was going to die. He didn't think that he would make it, because he was in old age, he was invalid, he was blind. And it's also very interesting because when he speaks about himself, he says, I'm a low, fallen sinner, I have no good qualities, but by the mercy of the previous acharyas. So you see that he has so much humility. The humility that these great acharyas show just kind of should inspire us to realize what good qualities we really have. We think we're some great big person, but then people who have devotees, great Vaishnavas who have left lasting impact on the tradition feel themselves as insignificant. So the humility he shows and just the potency he's receiving through Krishna and the previous acharyas is it's really amazing how he's able to compile this literature.
There's that verse, right? I'm more fallen than Jagai and Madhai.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever hears my name, what does he say?
He becomes the greatest sinner, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really amazing how they're able to portray this type of humility, and that just shows the topmost devotee has the greatest humility. And actually, class is about to end, but it was a post on His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Swami's YouTube recently. Is about the humility of Hanuman, how Trinada Peace and Nichinada, it was talking about how Hanuman burning Lanka is actually an example of humility, while when you're around gross materialists and you try to have some false humility, you actually develop an envious nature, which is pretty interesting, right? So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he actually, in his comments, he's also bashing like, certain philosophies like Mayavad philosophy and personalism. Is all in the Adi Lila. So his humility is not, oh, I'm so humble, I'm not gonna like speak ill on bad philosophies. No, he's also is clarifying what real reality from illusion is. This is real humility, and to fight for your guru, to fight for the predecessor acharyas, this is real humility. And Krishnadas Kaviraj, he exemplifies that. So, okay, it's 8:30.
Yeah, Offram's still
It's still up?
Yeah, you can speak.
Okay, I can read a little bit. I know. Yeah, I can read that. Yeah, I can read that. I thought I was on a hard cutoff, but I got you. So. Oh, anyways, Jitta, this is what he does say. I am more sinful than Jagai Madai, and I'm lower than a maggot in stool. Whoever hears my name loses the results of his virtuous deeds. Whoever utters my name commits a sin. Other than Nityananda, who could anyone in this world show mercy to me, to one as abominable as me? So that's what he says. And then his disappearance says, I don't think it really. I don't see how he actually disappeared.
There's one thing people say that's like not proper. I heard, but I forgot. It was like there was like two different stories I heard about Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj's disappearance.
I'll make sure. I don't think the live stream heard that they're not proper.
Oh, there's like two or something different like stories of Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj's appearance. One of them is improper. But I don't remember which one is which, and I don't remember exactly how he. Do you remember off the top of your head how he left?
No, it's not mentioned in this. It just talks about his final writing. Okay, it just says he disappeared at the Raghunath Das Goswami on the Sukla Dwadashi Titi of the month of Ashwin. It just says that he disappeared right at the Raghunath Das Goswami, but it doesn't say like where, like how and what happened. I mean, he was in old age, so.
Oh yeah, there was one rumor. Yeah, like when Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivasa Acharya, and Shamananda Thakur got like the books stolen. I think this is the myth. Their books got stolen by those rogues, and then I think the word got to Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj, and they said that's when he left his body. But that's false. I heard. That's false.
I'll do some more research on it. And
Okay.
we'll talk about it. Okay. Jai. Okay, go ahead.
I just remembered one false story. I think there's a false story mentioned that one of one great personality took the Chaitanya Charitamrita and like threw it in a well, and then he feels so shocked that he passed away. But that was some myth.
Actually, maybe the one I said was probably right. I don't know, but yeah, that's the one for sure. About it being false and throwing the Chaitanya.
It was like one of the great personalities that we read about, like one of the 6 Goswamis or something.
Yeah.
And like the Sahajas use it as a story to say that like he's puffed up or something because they're Sahajas.
Yeah, so why would, yeah.
Yeah, it says the first thing I saw that so after hearing news of the stolen manuscripts of his Chaitanya Charitamrita, he jumped into Radhakund, but I'm not sure. How, yeah, I don't know what the right understanding of his disappearance is.
It's a little weird. Why would he like be like, my manuscript got stolen?
This is on Iskon Desire Tree. It says, okay, Iskon Desire Tree says, upon hearing the news of the theft of the manuscripts which were sent to Hoda, Krishna gods plunged into the Radhakund. Karnananda also says that Kaviraj Goswami jumped into the Radhakund but did not die. He lived for some time anxiously awaiting the news that the books were recovered. He died after the disappearance of Das Goswami. I'm assuming that they mean Raghunath Das Goswami, and his tomb stands near Radhakund. So, I mean, his tomb is by Radhakund. I guess it is.
The myth,
It's kind of desired.
the myth thing that we were talking about, it can be found in the Adi Leela in one of the purports. Srila Prabhupada mentions, some Sahajas say that this and that, and he gave the manuscript to one of the Goswamis, they threw it away, and then he died, and something like that.
Yeah. That one I definitely know. Yeah.
Okay. Jai Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Ki. Jai Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Ki. Jai Srila Raghunath Bhatta Goswami Ki. Jai Vanchakal Sindhu Patitana Vaishnavi.
Yeah.
What did the Baba